My mom looked me straight in the eye the moment I called from work and said, "I'm not your babysitter." No hesitation, no softness, just a clean, practiced dismissal from the one person I always thought would protect my daughter if I couldn't. And while Ava sat shivering outside her elementary school for almost 2 hours, my parents went on with their evening as if her fear and loneliness were nothing worth interrupting dinner over. I didn't yell. I didn't plead. I went quiet. So quiet it felt like the ground inside me finally stopped shifting. And 3 days later, the consequences began rolling in. Before I get there, though, I need you to tell me, would you have stayed silent too, or walked away long before everything snapped? I'm Megan, 32, a single mom living in a small apartment tucked into a quiet neighborhood in Colorado Springs. People say I'm calm under pressure, composed, steady. They have no idea that it's a survival skill I learned growing up in a house where softness was unwanted and silence was demanded. My home now is small but warm. Soft blankets, dim lamps, shelves crowded with Ava's drawings and craft projects she insists on taping everywhere she can reach. She's 7, bright, bold, glitter-loving, still believing the world will catch her when she falls. And I've tried so hard to make sure she never learns the kind of cold I grew up in. My parents live 20 minutes away in a house that somehow always feels colder inside than the mountain air. My mom, Linda, wears certainty like armor, sharp, polished, unbending. My dad, Frank, hides behind quiet compliance, smoothing over her edges by disappearing into them. Still, I tried. Holidays, birthdays, Sunday dinners. I showed up even when it cost me. I kept hoping grandmotherhood might soften her. Sometimes she held Ava with a stiff smile, and for a second, I let myself imagine a version of us that never existed. But then came that late winter afternoon, the school nurse calling about Ava's fever, my mother refusing to help, and my daughter curled alone on a cold bench, waiting for someone who never came. That's the moment everything inside me shifted, silently, but permanently. 3 days passed before the first voicemail arrived, then another, and another. My aunt asking why my mom couldn't reach me, my mom's friend sounding uneasy, urging me to call her back, and finally my dad, voice tired, in that familiar way. "Your mother's upset. Can you please call her?" Not one of them mentioned Ava or what she went through. By then, I had already slipped into a steady stillness, one I didn't enter to punish anyone, but because I had nothing left to give. The real shift came later that week inside a big retail store near my parents' neighborhood. I rarely shopped there, too many memories, but Ava needed frosting for a class project. We were halfway down the baking aisle when I heard her voice behind me. "Megan?" Startled, flat, not warm in the slightest. Ava turned, polite but distant, nothing like the joy she used to offer her grandmother. My mom bent down, arms open, but Ava didn't move. She just asked if she could get the frosting with rainbow sprinkles instead. My mom's face cracked in a way I had never seen. "Why are you here?" She asked like my existence in public space required permission. "We're going to Melissa's," I said simply. The way her expression froze told me she finally felt it, the distance, the consequences. "Melissa's? Why would you go there?" The edge in her voice was the same one she'd used my whole childhood, meant to shrink me back into place. But I didn't answer her. I owed her nothing she hadn't earned. She forced a strained smile. "Well, I could come along. I haven't seen Ava in a while." "No," I said. "You're not invited." Shock hit her like cold air. She stepped closer. "Megan, this is ridiculous. You're still upset about that school thing. I was busy. You always overreact. Why drag this out?" The same script she'd used for decades, familiar and exhausting. I took Ava's hand and walked away. That night, 4 voicemails waited, angry, crying, pleading. I didn't respond, and suddenly the silence she once used against me belonged entirely to me. In the weeks that followed, something in Ava softened and strengthened at the same time, as if she realized safety wasn't a place, but a person. Then came the icy night when my dad texted saying my mom had slipped on the porch and they needed help because the car wouldn't start. For a moment, the old child in me stirred. Then I pictured Ava on those school steps, breath fogging in the cold. I typed one word: no. But the story didn't end in distance. Slowly, carefully, Ava's innocence reminded me that she deserved choice, not the erasure I grew up with. So I opened a small door, a message to my mom asking if she wanted to see Ava at the park. They came quietly, cautiously, aware of what they'd broken. My mom pushed Ava on the swing with her good hand, and for once, the silence between us wasn't a weapon. It was space. We didn't rebuild the old version of our family. We built a quieter, sturdier one shaped by boundaries instead of fear. And Ava felt safe again because she finally saw that protection doesn't mean perfection. It means choosing what's right, even when it hurts. If this story stayed with you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends, and comment your perspective or the lesson you took from it.